What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. The stock market was very interesting today, and it is set to go absolutely crazy tomorrow. In this video, we're going to cover the best stocks for the rest of the week and the most important stock information you need to know. But Tom, I know there's a lot of crazy things happening in the market right now, so fill us in.
Yeah, so the first thing I really wanted to talk about today was Twitter's stock. So Twitter started really tumbling off, and Mike, there was actually a pretty bad Hindenburg report that came out pretty much saying that Twitter could end up falling off as there's could be a possible restructuring of their deal with Elon Musk, and that's a big deal. And then Elon Musk came out today and said that he would possibly lift the Twitter ban on Donald Trump after the deal closed. But he did say he doesn't own Twitter yet, because he pretty much said it won't definitely happen, because what if I don't own Twitter? So, but he did say he would reverse the ban, which is interesting, which shows that he's going to do what he said and kind of make the platform more of a free speech model rather than censoring, different viewpoints that you don't agree with. So I think it sounds pretty cool. But Mike, the Hindenburg report really sent Twitter down the past couple of days. And I know that Hindenburg hit on DraftKings a little while ago and a couple other stocks, and they also continued down. So I wonder if they're going to be correct about this one. They're kind of talking about a restructuring of the deal. As of right now, Musk is set to buy Twitter at $54.20, but who knows? Apparently they're saying something could change.
Yeah, we'll see. If you believe that this Twitter deal will go through in its current state, then it would make sense to buy Twitter stock right now, but that's only if you believe the deal will go through. Like Tom just said, if it does go through, you'll get bought out at $54.20 a share.
Yeah, it will. And, but like they're saying, that could always change. And I hope that doesn't happen, because who knows? He could change the price and bring it down to $50 or maybe 47, or who knows? Possibly if we look at the price of Twitter over the past year or so, who knows? They could maybe even bring it down to like $40. I mean, honestly, that wouldn't be too bad. That would be right before the deal was announced. So I have no idea, but they're saying that Elon Musk holds all of the cards, and we'll have to see what happens with that. And Mike, I know Tesla had a pretty bad day today, but they ended up recovering up at the end of the day, along with a lot of other stocks in the market. So you can see that the SPY had a pretty good recovery towards the end of the day. So I'll take it. It was definitely better than the selling pressure we saw at market open. And, a lot of stocks actually ended up closing green today. And I saw AMD actually had a pretty good day, along with NVIDIA. And this is due to some pretty big news that came out today with AMD. So they announced a whole new line of graphics cards here. You can see that they announced the 6950 XT, the 6750 XT, and the 6650 XT, all coming in at different price points. The best one is going to be the 6950 XT. It's supposed to play every 4K AAA title at like max settings and stuff like that. I'm sure it'll also have some pretty good computing power also. So, that really helped AMD and the chip stocks up today. And it was nice to see these stocks recover. I'm sure that this was part of a big reason why the SPY was pushing up at the end of day here.
So it's nice to see those chip stocks green, Tom, but one stock that definitely was not in the green was Peloton, down around 9% today, and that's after the giant run-up all day long. So it actually closed yesterday around $14 a share, and it opened up today below $12, but it went as low as $9.78 in pre-market. That's around a 30% drop. So what's going on with this one?
Yeah, this is crazy. And their CEO came out and pretty much gave some pretty bad statements about the company. And man, we can see, I'll just bring up the CNBC article here. It was pretty bad here. So BBC, they said that pretty much the CEO said, in his own words, turnarounds are hard, which obviously that's not good. And then we can see in the CNBC article here, he pretty much said the nature of turnarounds is they are full of surprises. And, obviously, as we know, Peloton has had a lot of surprises over the past couple of years, especially over the past year. They've obviously been losing a lot of their subscribers for their like monthly subscription program. And then, of course, people just aren't buying Peloton machines as much now that COVID is gone and you can go back to the gym and stuff. So they're definitely facing a lot of problems right now, Mike. And They even said that Peloton was weaker on everything supply chain than he had expected. I know that sounds a little bit weird there in that quote, but in the end, pretty much he's saying that the supply chain is still having issues. So it's not good for them, Mike. Whenever their CEO comes out and he says statements like turnarounds are hard and that, obviously that they're having a lot of issues in the short term, that there could be surprises, that's never good because the market definitely does not do well with uncertainty, as we've seen over the past couple weeks.
Very true. So while Peloton had earnings, we have a couple other stocks that reported earnings in the after hours today that are moving in pretty big ways.
Yeah, they are. And, Unity is down a lot along with Roblox. So Roblox is all the way down to $20 a share in after hours. Unity down to $29.50 or right around $30. So both these stocks took pretty big tumbles here. We'll get into Roblox first, Mike. So they actually didn't have too bad of numbers. It's just, I guess that they just didn't grow with expectations. So pretty much their bookings came in pretty well here. We can see on our popular news tab, we can see their bookings came in at 631.2 million versus a 633.3 million expectation. And then their adjusted EBITDA came in at 67.9 million versus an estimate of 100.1 million. So that's a pretty big miss there, Mike, on that. And, to see that miss by over $30 million is pretty telling. And then their daily active users came in right at expectation. So nothing too crazy with Roblox, and that's probably why they're going down. Obviously, we would have liked to see a nice uptick with a lot of these numbers. I do know, though, that a lot of those year-over-year numbers are still looking pretty good, like their revenue year-over-year is up 39%. It's just that those, I guess that it just didn't quite meet the expectations that people were expecting, especially like with bookings.
Exactly. So you said it perfectly. Their revenue is up 39% year over year. That's pretty impressive. Their daily active users increased by 28% year over year. Their hours engaged increased 22% year over year. So it really wasn't too bad of an earnings report. It's just, it wasn't enough to truly wow the market.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big thing. The market loves to see, wowing type of events, kind of like Powell last week and, different situations like that. And I know some stocks lately have done pretty well on earnings. Like initially Tesla had a really good earnings report the day of earnings. But, as we know, a lot of the stocks that are doing well end up giving those gains back anyways. But as we know, Unity also reported here and they fell down to $30 in after hours, Mike. This is a huge drop. So pretty much from close to $30, they're down like 37%. So that is a huge move. Their earnings obviously were not the best. I hate to see Unity come in with numbers obviously that aren't good, Mike. But the thing is once again, year over year, they're decent. So we can see right here at the top, they pretty much said they delivered a record quarter with $320 million in revenue, up 36% year over year. So kind of similar to Roblox's numbers year over year. But in the end, as we know, it came in just under expectations. And once again, there's also supply chain issues and other stuff like that that is making Unity fall off. And it sucks to see them falling down that much, Mike, whenever they actually increase revenue at such a good rate. So I don't know what's going on with the market lately, but I know earnings are definitely all over the place. And this is why playing earnings is so tough, because sometimes you'll even have decent numbers and the stocks will still fall.
Very true. So it's been a wild week so far, and the volatility will only continue because we even have more companies that will report this week. So what's on the schedule?
Yeah, more big ones. So tomorrow before open, we have Yeti and Fiverr. Those are going to be pretty big along with Wendy's, but after close is going to be huge. We have Disney, Rivian, Beyond Meat, Sonos. So that's a few huge stocks there. Beyond Meat's going to be pretty interesting, Mike. I know that one has had a lot of crazy movement lately. I know they had a weird rumor with McDonald's a few weeks ago that they kind of shot down there. But Disney's also reporting that's going to be huge for streaming. And obviously other streaming companies will probably be affected by Disney too. So definitely look at them. That's going to be big. Six Flags we still have on the table for the rest of the week. And then Affirm on Thursday after close too. So nothing too crazy though. It's definitely starting to slow down a little bit as far as earnings go. But, Disney's going to be huge tomorrow.
All right, good to know. And then we also have that CPI data tomorrow too.
Yeah, we do. CPI data at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time in the morning. This is going to give us a huge insight into how inflation and everything like that is going. So definitely keep this on the radar. I will say with just about everything coming up over the next couple weeks, this CPI data might be the most important data point that we have to look at. So definitely keep this on the radar. Mike, I know the SPY was crazy today, kind of straddling down here around $400. And I'm sure that data point is going to really make the markets move early on there.
You know it. So before we move on, I just want to give a giant shout out to our member of the day, Keep Learning. Huge shout out to Keep Learning. Thanks so much for being an awesome member of the Stocked Up Discord. Tom and I really appreciate you. But Tom, it's now time for the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have Netflix to the upside.
Yeah, so with Netflix, go ahead and make them break above that high of day there, right around 182.50.
All right, and with the next one, we have Intel also to the upside.
Yeah, Intel had a pretty good day along with those other chip stocks. Go ahead and make them break above 44.75. And I really like this long-term support to Intel sitting on here, right around 43.50.
All right, there we go. And with the last one, we have Enphase to the downside.
Yeah, poor Enphase. They just keep getting beaten down here, but go ahead and make them break below 144.32.
All right, so we are watching Enphase for a potential day trade to the downside tomorrow, only if it breaks below the level Tom listed. And then we are watching Intel and Netflix for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. But all in all, Tom, the market is set for a lot more volatility this week. Do you have any favorite plays with that being said?
Yeah, there's a lot of big volatility coming up here, and a lot of stocks are starting to get really volatile here. Some of the craziest moves I saw today, Mike, were out of the China sector. So I noticed BABA kind of gapped up this morning and started trading back down. I feel like this could be a pretty good one here over the next week. Like if the market does continue lower, I think BABA can definitely keep falling off. Hopefully we start to see a nice support for him, and maybe BABA will start to pop back up. Maybe help out some of these beaten down China plays here. But I will say some of these chip stocks are still having great movement. Like AMD had that great news come out today with those graphics cards. So keep them on the radar. I think they'll be pretty interesting. I also noticed today, Mike, that out of a lot of the growth stocks, Chewy actually had a pretty good close here. They ended up closing up 2.3%. And I was pretty happy to see them close up in the green. They're kind of straddling right around $25. And when I look at them on the Max Daily, they're just another one of those growth plays that are at lows. But I will say they had a lot better of a close today than a lot of the other growth stocks. So I do want to keep them on the radar for tomorrow. Maybe we'll see a bit more movement come in. And I will say Spotify is another one. They had a pretty nice close as well, right around $100, which is key for a nice psychological level there.
All right, there we go. And we also have to showcase that bot play from today. So if you trade options, pay attention to this. Our bot called out the Palantir $6.50 calls at $73 today. It popped all the way up to $98 in just a couple hours. That's a 34% pop. Yesterday's play popped for 78%, and that was with Corsair. Overall, the bot's awesome. It calls out options, day trades every single day. If you decide to sign up, you also get access to swing plays, a bunch of other custom bots, a great community. You can chat with Tom and myself all day long. You can cancel at any time, and we have a coupon running. So if you trade options, check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. The bot's awesome, and you're not going to find it anywhere else. Besides that, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe.